Good morning.
Good morning once more, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. My name is Nelly Maluka. I'm sure most of you, we've met, we know each other one way or another. And I'm the corporate communications manager at Kfcb.
Yes, my name is Christopher Mbua. I'm the acting CEO of Kfcb. And we are here today to issue our classification decision regarding an Indian movie that I think premiered last week, and which one of our exhibitors in the country had submitted for classification. So with the permission, I will read the prepared statement, and we'll subsequently field any questions that you may have. So the Kenya Film Classification Board, as you are aware, is a regulatory agency mandated by the Films and Stage Plays Act, Cap 222, of the laws of Kenya to regulate the creation, broadcasting, possession, distribution and exhibition of film and broadcast content. Regulation of film and broadcast content is aimed at ensuring that content conforms to our Kenyan culture, values, and national aspirations, as well as protect children from exposure to inappropriate content. The law further vests Kfcb with the responsibility of examining and classifying all film content intended for public exhibition for age appropriateness. In discharging this responsibility, the Kfcb classifies content as any of the following. 1, GE or general exhibition, parental guidance or PG. 16, which means not suitable for persons under 16. 18, meaning content suitable for those above 18 years. And lastly, restricted, or in common parlance, basically meaning that it is banned. In examining and classifying film and broadcast content, the board is guided by classification standards and guidelines under classifiable elements, including violence and crime as one of the classifiable elements, obscenity and nudity as another classifiable element, or cult and horror as the third element, drugs, alcohol and other harmful substances, and lastly, religion and community. And of course, there's another one which is on propaganda for war, hate speech, and incitement. Those are the standards or the classifiable elements that we look at when we are classifying content. Ladies and gentlemen, in February this year, the board received a 147-minute drama comedy film of Indian origin titled Badhai Do to examine and classify before public exhibition in cinema theaters. The film was examined by both our internal and external examiners, while basing on the existing classifiable elements and standard guidelines, as I've already indicated. The examiners then noted an obvious and intentional attempt by the producers to promote the same-sex marriage agenda as an acceptable way of life. The gay and lesbian characters in the film explicitly sought to normalize their feelings for each other and ultimately convinced their families to embrace and empathize with them. Furthermore, the choice of the characters equally seeks to abuse establishments such as the disciplined forces and academia, professions that epitomize sobriety and virtue, and that society holds in very high regard. The multiple scenes of lesbian and gay affection depicted in the film are in complete disregard of our cultural values and beliefs. Ladies and gentlemen, homosexuality remains something that is not allowable in the law, and therefore claims in the movie such as love is love, I am okay with my son being gay, gay people can adopt, among others, as portrayed in the film fly in the face of our laws and values. According to Article 45 of the Kenyan Constitution, marriage is defined as a union between persons of the opposite sex. Sections 162, 163, and 165 of the Penal Code criminalizes homosexual behavior. The film in question, therefore, overtly disregards our laws, constitution, and sensibilities as a people. Moreover, the film tries to directly influence the viewer into believing that homosexuality is a normal way of life. This is clearly evident by use of symbolic colors that are associated with LGBT plus as displayed towards the end of the film. The film also petitions society to embrace homosexuality as a group of homosexuals stages a march to advocate their rights as one of the scenes in the movie. Ladies and gentlemen, while this film is acceptable in its country of origin, India, the board has rated it as restricted in Kenya as it propagates a worldview that is in dissonance with our constitution, culture, values, and norms, and as content that could easily expose vulnerable members of society who are consumers to perversion. On this score, any film or broadcast content appearing to legalize, advocate, normalize, or glorify the act contravenes the laws of the land. The film is therefore unacceptable and an affront to our culture and identity as a people. While adults have a right to choose what they consume within the parameters of the law, children and other vulnerable segments of society are at the risk of being corrupted by content of this nature. On account of the aforementioned reasons, on this 14th day of February 2022, the board hereby pronounces the 147-minute gay-themed film Badai Do as restricted. For avoidance of doubt, restricted in this case means that it is prohibited from exhibition, distribution, possession, or broadcasting within the Republic of Kenya. In light of the foregoing, the board further wishes to state as follows. 1. We have noted an increase in audiovisual content that seeks to promote and normalize gay themes and ideologies contrary to our national laws, beliefs, and norms. In this regard, the board will not allow such content to either be broadcast or exhibited within our borders. Number 2, any attempt to exhibit, distribute, broadcast, or possess a restricted film or any other restricted films within the Republic of Kenya shall be met with the full force of the law. On this account, we appeal to registered cinema operators across the country to ensure that the said film does not exhibit. Number 3, the board remains vigilant to ensure that films exhibited in Kenya promote our cultural values, including preserving the institution of the family. 4, local and international filmmakers wishing to create audiovisual content are reminded to strictly adhere to the provisions of the Films and Stage Plays Act by acquiring film licenses as well as submitting their content for examination and classification for age suitability before public exhibition. And 5th, we call upon parents, guardians, and caregivers to remain vigilant and to monitor what their children are watching on TV and other broadcast channels and to guide them appropriately. Ladies and gentlemen, on a different note, but still within our mandate, the board has noted a worrying trend where audiovisual content bordering on political incitement and hate speech is being produced, uploaded, and peddled on social media platforms in blatant breach of the provisions of Articles 33 and 34 of the Constitution of Kenya and Kfcb's film classification guidelines. In this regard, content creators are reminded to strictly adhere to the provisions of the Film Stage Plays Act and other laws. It is worth noting that in the past 1 month, the board has flagged down audiovisual content on hate speech and reported the same to relevant government and private sector organizations for appropriate action. The board shall remain vigilant in monitoring film and broadcast content shared on social media platforms and other broadcast channels in line with our regulatory mandate. The board also remains committed to closely working with the relevant government and private sector agencies to execute its regulatory mandate, especially in the electioneering period. Lastly, we are recognizing and appreciating the existence of Articles 33, 34, and 35 that touch on freedom of expression, freedom of media, and access to information. The board urges content creators, the media, and the public to be cautious of the content they upload or share on social media, since freedom is not absolute. Freedom of expression actually must be premised on responsibility. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, CEO. And we'll back to you, colleagues from the Fourth Estate. You've heard from the CEO. So
Kfcb, as I indicated in the beginning, is to regulate film and broadcast content. So our focus is the creation, the possession, the broadcasting, distribution, and exhibition of audiovisual content. So the focus for us is not the politician. It is the content. But of course, the producer of the content becomes of relevant to us, and that's why we have said in this during my remarks that what the board is doing is that we monitor the broadcast and other new media platforms to flag out any content that is of concern and that flouts the laws of the land, and in particular the law that establishes us, that is the Film and Films and Stage Plays Act. And what we do is that when we see that content has been, such divisive content has been uploaded, and this content must be in audiovisual format, we will identify it. We will talk to the platform operators, if it is Google, to pull it down, and they usually work closely with us to do that. And we also report the same to NCIC, so that they can carry out any prosecution that may be required. Also, sometimes we bring in the DCI. So basically, that is what we are doing, and that's why we have spoken about this issue, because we have seen an escalation of this very concerning trend, where party adherents are getting very passionate about their political parties, and they are producing audiovisual content that could easily flout the laws that govern Films and Stage Plays Act in the country. And that's why we are calling on Kenyans really to exercise a lot of responsibility, and for even leaders of political parties to rein in their members so that we do not tear our country apart as we campaign in readiness for the August elections that are coming. So that's what we are doing. We will identify the content. We will talk to the platform owner or operator for that content to be brought down. But we'll also notify the relevant agencies so that they can follow up if they need to prosecute, or they need to, so that, and we even write letters to the people who are creating that content to tell them that we've noted, please desist. We give warnings first. But if this proceeds, I think we may need to involve in the DCI much more going forward. We shall continue to do what we are expected to do by liaising with the relevant agencies, first flagging the content, talking to the content creators, be they politicians or party machinery, political party machinery, so that we sensitize them on the requirements of the production and distribution and broadcasting of audiovisual content. But where we realize that, of course, the same materials threaten the integrity of the country in terms of dividing us and sowing seeds of discord, we shall certainly liaise with the relevant agencies to ensure that the culprits are brought to book. On the prosecutions is the NCAC. And that's why I've said that increasingly, when we not take note of that kind of content, we write to them and we provide the evidence so that they can proceed and prosecute if need be. So I think people need to realize that we are watching as KFCB and other government agencies, and that we have a duty and responsibility to keep our country peaceful and secure in terms of the content that we distribute, create and distribute on social media platforms and other exhibition platforms that are available to Kenyans.
Do you have a success way of which you can?
And the video that was produced, that was in Facebook, that was talking about Madoadoa. And we actually wrote to Facebook to pull down the clip on account of being in contravention of the laws of the land. And we also actually wrote to NCIC for follow-up. And we are continuing to monitor to see whether this trend stops or whether it continues to increase, in which case we may now need to involve the DCI for purposes of prosecution.
Any other concern? We want to thank you, and even as Dasio has said, it's good you've asked the role of the media, the fourth, and what people cannot know without the media also playing part of it. Ensure. Thank you, CEO.
Thank you.
You've been told, calling upon you as part of our partners to work with us together to ensure that you are not the ones who are making the conflict to take to us, and we'll keep clarifying. We also have the press release which we are going to give you.
Sure.
So you are kindly free to go.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So ndio hivyo wenzetu. Ama namna gani?
The Garden of Joy is a green project. We are telling you to put a roof whose water you can drink, put a storage tank for harvesting water, and use biodigester to recycle water. And what a privilege, what a joy, you know, it is to be right here at the Garden of Joy. Queen.
Yes. Another thing I would wish to add, Muteti, is about accessibility when you enter to the project. The accessibility is very awesome. As you can see, we have a 9-meter wide road. Mnaweza pitana magari mawili. There is no jam with this project. You can see we have accessibility, and along every road there is a lot of plants which are planted there, and I want to assure you that hair here is purified. We have clean hair here because of what we've done as Optiven. We've done lots of trees. We've done 3,000 trees here, so your life will never be. Imagine while you are in your balcony, kanjeve tu kanakuja tu kanakupiga tu kale kanjeve kazuri. Just imagine, because of the trees. And we say that come and be with us, join this family, and because we are Christian-based family, this project has a meditation park whereby you can go and pray, whereby you can go and meet your God through prayers, somewhere where you can go rest. There is a area where you can do volleyball. Wanaume mnaweza choma nyama. Yani it's a place where you can get in Machakos County. Come and join us and make sure you get something and your life will change. Muteti.
Hey, Coletta. Hey, wow. Hey, thank you so much. And I can see people, they want to commit to this project. Please give them your number.
If you want to commit yourself today, in fact today we have an offer which is ending at saa sita usiku. Yes, make sure you call me. I'll give you this information. 0722 90 1789. Call this number 0722 901789. That's my personal number. I'll make sure I take you through even the process of getting this land, because you have to come and see first. We don't sell something which you've never seen. You come first, see, and we provide transport from our Ruai office. In fact, we have an office in Ruai where there is a site manager who can bring you here. Our cars are there which are very good, and we observe the MOH regulations because of what is happening worldwide. And we will bring you and make sure you see your plot. We have beacons in place. We have every plot as a title deed, and immediately you say plot X is what I want. We make sure we give you the title deed. Go and do your search. You can go and do your search and then come back and make sure you invest with us. Today, if you invest with us, just say interested, and I'll get your name or your email address, and then I'll take you the process of investing with Optiven. Thank you, Muteti.
So Kalera, what you are saying is that once they call that number, you personally will bring them here, ama utatuma mtu?
Hapana Muteti. Mkinipigia hiyo namba kutoka saa hii, I'll make sure I'll be in your that car, and I'll make sure I come with you this start the journey of investment with you. I'll come with you with our driver, and then we'll make sure tumekusaidia kutafuta plot yenye unataka. Maybe you want a corner plot. Maybe you want a residential plot. Maybe you want a commercial plot. Tuko nazo zote. In fact, barabara, this is a government road, and I'm very sure if you get a commercial plot here, it will be huge. It will have, you can do your shop, you can do your kiosk if you wish, but we don't encourage kiosks here because this place is controlled. Make sure you do a good shop and it will give you return.